All right, welcome to News in Nigeria TV. It's a beautiful evening. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are, where you're joining us from. With me here today, I have Mr. Matthew, a renowned political analyst, who, of course, is domiciled in Nigeria. Welcome, Mr. Matthew. Thank you for joining us.
Mr.
Mr.
Nee, thank
Matthew,
you for
can you hear
having
me?
me. Yes, I can hear you
Okay, you're
clearly. Thank you
welcome.
for having me.
All right, welcome, sir. So today we have an interesting, topic to discuss because we want to look into what is going on in the Nigerian politics. As at this hour, we can see that there is a very bitterness. There's this bitterness building up between the North and the Southwest specifically. We can see that it seems Tinubu in the recent time has been dealing with the North, so to speak, because the songs or the chorus coming from the North in the recent time has been the songs of sorrow and agony. Quickly, Mr. Matthew, let us talk on the current issue of the day. Why are they not angry with Tinubu?
Once again, thank you for having me. Let me quickly
Thank
tell
you.
you that the average Northerner, particularly the Fulani, sees himself as someone that is born to rule. So each
Mm,
time they go out of power, each time they lose power, I wouldn't say lose power because the man who is there was democratically elected. So each time they are not in power, all they do is they start strategizing on how to get back to power. It
mm,
doesn't, it is irrespective of whether the man who is there is governing well or not. The average
mm,
Fulani man see himself as a person who should always be in power and they want other people
mm,
to be spectators. But I think currently the Nigerians should be bold enough to confront them and let them know that this country does not belong to them, that this country
mm,
belongs to everybody. Because if you are saying Nigeria must be one, Nigeria must not
mm-hmm.
disintegrate, I think each
Yeah.
and every one or section of the country should be given fair opportunity to occupy Aso Rock. I'm not trying to hold brief for Mr. President, talking about Senator Amebola Tinubu, but the fact remains that we have seen some policies of the government that the North is not comfortable with, and it is irrespective of whether they are comfortable with it or not. Talking about the town reform bills that is before the National Assembly, and you cannot reap where you did not sow. We are since though I have some reservation with respect to those bills, but the point is currently there are some parts of the country where you have a law prohibiting alcohol. To the point that you
Mm-hmm.
have Hilva police to enforce the ban on those on alcohol. And at the end of the day,
Yeah.
you turn around to leverage on the tax that accruing to government through that same alcohol. For me, that is
Mm,
reaping where you not so. So even when someone like Bala Mohammed, the governor of Bauchi State, was went
yeah.
vocal the other time, telling Mr. President that if he is not ready to listen, that the North will speak in a will show him their true color. The point is, I don't think Tinubu should be afraid to witness the true color of the North because as long as he's on the right trajectory, I think he should follow through with those policies. Though, as we go into full conversation, there are some areas where I'm not personally comfortable with those bills. But that is not to say I am in line with the position of the North.
Okay. Thank you for that beautiful quick brief to answer that question. Before we go ahead, I would like to welcome our viewers who just joined us. Yes, please, you're welcome. Kindly drop whatever questions that you might have for Mr. Matthew as we go into the conversation of the day. And if you would like to join us, you can also request for the invite link. We will drop it in the comment section. And of course, you are very much allowed to drop your own share or submission and opinions. So, um, Mr. Matthew, it seems the Tinubu, the North never studied who Tinubu was. We in the South, since 1999, we've always known that Tinubu is a premium and a chronic capitalist, a man whom wants to absorb everything to himself. We know allegedly how he has held on to Lagos politics. As of today, we see what is going on, wherein the Speaker of Assembly, who just recently showed the interest to run for governorship, but because he was openly about it and he was aggressive and arrogant, just today we have been told that he was impeached. And there are allegations, there are rumors that it seems Tinubu is making that road map or that clear path for his son Sheyi Tinubu, where so many bodies, so many organizations are now endorsing to run for the next gubernatorial election in Lagos. What's your reaction?
Let me quickly tell you, Mr. Lee, that though it's speculative, talking about the issue that has to do with the impeachment of the Lagos State Speaker, talking about Obasa. The way it is, I think it's becoming very clear that the man Shea Tinubu is going to throw his hat into the ring for the purpose of governorship election in 2027 in Lagos State. But the fact remains that Shea Tinubu as a person is qualified to run for that office.
Mm,
But looking at the
okay.
politics the way it is it right or is it justified for someone who is the president at the same time have his son as the governor of a state, of his own state? I think that is for another conversation. But for me, looking at whether the man is qualified, there is nothing that's stopping from contesting. But in the eye of the public, I think it would have been better someone else should be given opportunity to govern the state. But that is not to say that is without prejudice to his right and his qualification to contest for that office. But looking at the impeachment, if it is speculated that the man, though it's no longer a speculation that Obasa is interested in that office, I mean to contest for governor. So if his impeachment is linked to his ambition, it's going to show that yes, the man Shea Tinubu is actually going to throw his hand into the ring. And of course, if he's going to do that, Mr. Lee, I tell you that going by the politics of Nigeria, I don't think anyone can stop the man Shea Tinubu from clinching that position. Because talking about the whole process of electioneering in Nigeria, of course, we understand that you have to deal with the issue that has to do with internal democracy of the party to become a candidate of the party. I don't see anything stopping him from getting the candidacy of APC. I understand that he will likely run under that platform. Then going into the election proper, with the way he has started so early, I must say that he's the man to beat in that election. Not because I'm supporting him or any other thing. We're looking at the things that shape the dynamics, the factors that shape Nigerian politics. I think the man Sheyi Tinubu is a man to beat in that election.
Okay, so you are trying to play safe here, Mr. Marty, because I can see you are trying to be diplomatic. You don't want to accept probably maybe Sheyi Tinubu is being pushed. But we know how Tinubu works. They always like to test the waters and they kind to check the temperature of the people before they now push. Just this morning, we saw that I think some Canadian, they call them Canadian ambassadors for Sheikh Tinubu, they came out, it was posted by Sahara reporters that they have endorsed Sheikh Tinubu. Now, away from Sheikh Tinubu, let us go into the topic of the day. And let us start with the Northerners who are aggressively against Tinubu. Bala Muhammad of Bauchi has come out to threaten the president. He has said that there will be anarchy in Nigeria if Tinubu does everything in his own way. If he doesn't listen to the voice of the people, they put him into that position. So he is mandated to do their biddings. I mean, these people talk as if the southern Nigeria does not exist. And this is in particular with the tax bill. What is your reaction to this new threat from Bala
Uh,
Mohammed?
Mr. Lee, let me quickly tell you that Nobody own Nigeria, not even the North. Don't forget that even recently
Are you are you
we are
are
seeing,
you sure? Are you sure about that? Yeah.
yes,
Don't
I'm
forget the
telling you, I'm telling you
Fulanis.
that. Even currently, we are seeing a new dynamics from the Middle Belt, a situation where the Middle Belt are coming out clearly to say they are not going to join the North, or rather the Fulani, against the South. The point is, it is irrespective of the opinion of Bala Mohammed. I never voted for Senator Ahmed Bola Tinubu. Don't get it twisted, I'm not his supporter. But it doesn't matter the opinion of Bala Mohammed. That threat of anarchy, that threat that they will show the president the true color of the North is just mere rhetoric. Because whether we like it or not, the president, I mean the Senator Ahmed Bola Tinubu currently is the president and the commander of the armed forces. And he will remain in that position until after 4 years. That's when the first tenure will elapse. I'm not supporting him in any way, but the point remains that if the tax reform bills are the basis for which the North want to intimidate him, and we are saying that
Yeah.
the tax reform bill is a necessity. Though there are some areas I strongly
Mhm.
disagree agree with the president, particularly when the president had media chat here in Lagos and during the unitary period, where he came out clearly to say that the tax reform bills are come to stay. People like me were asking the question as to where do Mr. President derive the power to start saying a bill before the National Assembly have come to stay. But we understand that it beholds on the National Assembly that has the mandate and responsibility for law enactment to enact the law before it is pushed to the president or part of the president rather for presidential access. And as we speak, those bills, about four of them, are still with the two chambers of National Assembly, talking about the Senate and the House of Representatives. I think at the level of the Senate, it has gone for first and second reading and it has been suspended. Though it was referred to the relevant committee of the House, in the House of Reps, it has only gone for first reading and it has been suspended. So the point is, where did Mr. President derive the power to start speaking unilaterally that the bill have come to say? I think those are the areas I have issue with Mr. President. But again, I am from Niger Delta. You know that, Mr. Lee. And I look at the argument of Sireke Dixon. I'm talking about the former governor of Bayelsa State, yes, who of course is the current senator serving in Nigerian Senate. He raised an issue. He said personal income tax of oil workers. We know that they have their operation base in the Niger Delta. But the current status
Yeah.
quo makes their tax to be remitted to Lagos State because almost all the oil companies are headquartered here in Lagos. So, in the spirit of derivation, according to him, in the spirit of let the area of operation, the area that is generating the revenue, take a larger percentage, is advocating that let the president income tax of those oil workers be moved back to Niger Delta. I think I go with that argument. Then there are some other areas I strongly disagree with the bill. For instance, we have been saying that there are so many items on exclusive legislative list. And one of those bills seeks to remove the tax, value added tax, from seek to remove the value added tax from concurrent list to exclusive list. So at the time we are talking of trying to remove some items on the exclusive list, it's not the same time the federal government will be wanting to bring in more items on the exclusive list. Because currently we are there is agitation for devolution of power. The more you remove burden from federal government, share to state, local government, the better for our society. Because we are saying that the
Okay.
federal
So
government
so
have been overburdened. You want to come in?
okay. So yes. So Mr. Matthew, the part that you seems to have issue with is not the part the North have issue with. The part they have issue is the derivation part. The North seems to be some a people who have been earning for more than 50 years are not working. So, that derivation aspect of the tax bill states that the more you work, the more you earn. That is what it portrays. And we understand that Rivers State and Lagos State have an ongoing case, a suit against the federal government about the VAT on alcohol. So this is the issue. The Northerners, their own argument is they are not ready to work. They do not want the derivation to be included in the bill. They want a situation whereby even if they are not drinking alcohol, even if they are not drinking alcohol, they still, I mean, tend to earn what they get in terms of allocation. So that is their issue. Today now they are beginning to say that Tinubu is acting like an alien, that they feel Tinubu will deceive them. Because Tinubu fraternized with the North for over 15 years. He was always going there, donating money, he was having all manner of social empowerment for the North. Now that he has gained their trust, we can see one Daros Galolo who has become a media northern propaganda machine, saying that Tinubu is now an alien to them, that they cannot understand. They didn't know how, or perhaps did he jinx them?
Mr. Mr. Lee, let me tell you that Dr. Garos Galolo is a confused man. He's a confused man
Hmm.
because I just seen a man who has suddenly become a motivational speaker, who is trying to diplomatically draft the Igbos into this argument to have a new marriage to fight a Tinubu. But I want to tell Dr. Garos Galolo and his likes that the Igbos will not be ready and willing to play that part or dance that dance they are planning. Because however I look at it, if the travail of the Igbos was caused by the same Fulani man, I don't think the Igbos will be too docile to be placated by the sugar-coated tongue of Dr. Galolo. Because the same former president who is a Fulani man, talking about Muhammadu Buhari, they managed the extraordinary rendition of Nnamdi Kanu, who today all the stakeholders in the eastern part of the country have spoken that his release is a panacea for peace in that region. Have you not listened to the statement that came from Senator Enya Balebe the other day when he had an audience with the governor of Abia State, where he said he's willing and ready to start shorting for Nnamdi Kanu for a second time. He did said that he is encouraging Mr. President to listen to the Attorney General of the Federation. That's going to show that when the senator from the region had conversation with the Attorney General over the issue concerning Nnamdi Kanu, it's going to show that the Attorney General was on the view that Nnamdi Kanu should be released. Because when they had that meeting, remember that the other time, they were meeting between the senator from eastern part of the country under the leadership of Senator Enya Baribe, and it was the Attorney General of Federation, the interface with who stood for federal government. And after that meeting, the conversation was not made public. But recently, Senator Enya Baribe came out clearly to advise Mr. President to listen to the advice or the opinion of the Attorney General of the Federation regarding Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. So it got to show that the man, Attorney General of the Federation, talking about Latif Fagbemi, is still of the view that the release of Nnamdi Kanu is the way to go. So going back to Dr. Garos Galolo, the Igbos will not be willing and ready to play that part or dance that to that drum beat he's beating. The point is the same northerners who subjugated almost the whole south are the one now crying and looking for help, looking for where to run to. Mr. Lee, let me remind you, under former administration of Muhammadu Buhari, we had a situation where about 17 security positions, talking from starting from the office of National Security Advisor, Chief of Army Staff, Chief of Defense Staff, Chief of Air Staff, Chief of Director of DSS, um, DG Custom, DG of It's about 17 positions. The North under Buhari took 14. They only gave South, if you remove, yes, they took 14 and gave the rest to the southern part of the country. So now they are crying, if you listen to Dr. Gareth Galolo, that a Tinubu is appointing only the Southwesterners. When Buhari was doing that, each time the people, the Southerners complained, he always said that they are appointing people based on competence. And people were asking them, does it mean you find, oh, it's only in the North you find people who are competent? Does it mean you don't have competent people in the South? So it's like a Tinubu have learned from
So
Muhammad
so
Buhari,
so Mr.
and
Matthew,
he
you
has
are
learned how to
saying the
present.
North. So you are saying the North do not have the moral standing to cry
The justification, they don't
marginalization.
have the
Yeah.
moral standing, they don't have the justification to accuse Tinubu of nepotism because a Buhari started it. And Tinubu have learned it. I think he has become a master of the game.
Okay, to my surprise now, the people who are supposed to be crying marginalization are even supporting Tinubu. They are even saying, Tinubu, go ahead. They are not even promising Tinubu ahead that come 2027, they will give him their vote, provided he continues to break the back and eclipse the wings of the Fulani hegemonies and all their excesses. What's your reaction to that statement from the Igbos?
Talking about, I think people who are of that in that category will be the people from the middle belt. And if you look at, Tinubu somehow is a strategist. I think what he's doing
Mm,
currently,
mm.
he's looking at areas where he touched before now, people are marginalized. So I think that is target. Look at the university he recently approved for Southern Kaduna. It's strategic.
Mm,
You may say
mm,
Tinubu is playing
mm,
politics,
mm,
but
mm.
however I look at it, the people in Southern Kaduna are happy because of that university.
Of course, yes,
And
yes, yes,
it
yes,
do
of
not,
course.
the happiness have a spillover into even play too, because I think they have the same characteristics. The same way people of Southern Kaduna are being marginalized, being subjugated by the Fulani, the same thing is applicable to the Plateau. So I think what Tinubu is doing is he's trying to use it to weaken the North. He's trying to use it to polarize the North. And I think he's already succeeding in that game because nobody changed a winning strategy. This is already a winning strategy for him. Because the people in Southern Kaduna,
Mm,
the people in Benue are already clapping hands for the man. Because all along, these are people who have been perpetually subjugated, perpetually marginalized. And currently, all of a sudden, they are seeing this recent development. Don't forget that at the instance of the assumption of office of the president, he appointed someone from Benue, the secretary to federal government,
mhm.
talking about
Yeah,
Akume.
Akume, George Akume.
So that in itself gives Benue a sense of belonging. And if you look at the comment or tweet I read from Twitter the other day concerning the issue that has to do with Middle Belt and the corners, someone said that the Middle Belt holds 53% of the land mass in the north. And we
Mm,
are talking about land resources. So he said that even now, the way it stands, that they have what it takes to stand alone and decide their fate. Not necessarily somebody sitting somewhere, coming together, deciding their fate to grab power. At the end of the day, once they grab power, they start appropriating the power, giving out the position, and at the expense of even the people who are from the middle belt. Don't forget that politics in itself is madness of the many for the benefit of few. So by the time they start appropriating who gets what, they don't remember those same other parts of middle, yes, the middle belt, whom they always use as a tool to grab power. So currently, I think the people who are happy, who are benefiting from this strategy of Tinubu are people from the middle belt.
mm. Let me clap for Tinubu. For me, I think he is demystifying the Northerners. We know that the Northerners have always come out to say that they control the bloc vote. They have always presented themselves as an undivided unit, and only a few which of course most times are the Fulanis and the Hausas who speak for even the Middle Belters. But as of today, we can see Tinubu using that divide and conquer tactics that he used in Lagos is now deploying it at federal level. Well, on a final note, because I don't want to take most of your time, and to our viewers who have joined us, thank you wherever you are joining us from. If you have any question for Mr. Matthew, you can drop it in the comment section before I ask him the last question. If you have anything that you want to ask him, please kindly drop it in the comment section. Of course, we'll always come live to you guys at least maybe twice or thrice in a week. We'll always post it ahead for you guys to join us. Very soon, we would also upgrade so that we can have multiple people join us. It doesn't matter where you are, whether you're abroad, whether you're in Africa, whether you're in UK, US, wherever you are, if you're watching us, you'll be have the capacity and of course the link to access this channel. So, Mr. Matthew, this issue of strategizing, this issue of dividing the North, the Arewas are crying now, saying that Tinubu is a kafiri. I don't know if you mean by kafiri. They are calling him a fake Muslim. But each time I get confused because the North have said that it is Islam that will unite the whole country. But Tinubu is not apparently doing that. In fact, Tinubu is ready to divide the Northerners. What's your final take on that?
Mr. Lee, let me quickly tell you that in the build up to the 2023 election, when the APC came up with Muslim ticket, most of us were not comfortable. That's the truth. And the North were clapping and they were not mindful of the feeling of the other faith. But currently, I think they've gotten what they bargained for. Because we are folding our hands, looking at what is happening, and as long as a Tinubu is getting it right, I think the North should learn how to stay without having access to power. Because currently, they are not comfortable because they feel the power base they always they used to enjoy is depleting. Don't forget that in the aviation sector, the federal government is currently trying to decentralize it by way of sharing all the equipment of aviation into the siege of zone. And these are part of why the North is not comfortable with the way the man Tinubu is administering the country. But the point is, the North have always run it over the South. And if you have a president that is bold enough to look at them in the face and say, yes, there's this for fairness, equity, and justice. The only area I want Mr. President to extend that equity, fairness, and justice is the release of Mazen Namekalo. Once it does that, and the Igbo
Mm.
man is happy and embraces government, it doesn't matter the opinion of the North because they do not unilaterally own the country as they always want to make us believe. So the point is, it is irrespective of their opinion, whether they think a Tinubu is a Muslim or they see him as a fake Muslim. The important thing is that currently he is the president, and they must learn to live with someone who, even if they are not comfortable with his policies, his programs, as long as the program is fair and is justifiable, they not should learn to live with it.
Well, I said last question, but please permit me to ask just this one more question.
All right, all right.
Do you think Tinubu will be able to win? Because the North seem to be collectively against Tinubu now. Do you think Tinubu will be able to win come 2027? Because the North, who voters, are now against him. What's your take?
It's a combination of many factors. It's about whether the opposition will be able to galvanize themselves and come on one platform. If they're able to do that, and the man Tinubu is not able to reverse the trend, current trend, I think he's going to have a Herculean task going back to Asura. When I'm talking about the current trend, I'm talking about the issue of a hardship in the land. Don't forget that even the president himself, during that media chat, during the last unit time, said that he's going to reverse inflation from 34.6% to about 15%. And currently, we have not seen any sign of that reversal. And the policy of government that have seen issues or rather have seen the economy stifled, the government, I don't think they have intention to review them. So it's a combination of many factors. If election were to be free, fair, if election is to be free, fair, and credible in 2027, with the current status scenario, if the president is not able to revise his trend, I will tell you that it's going to be very difficult for the president to win on a free and fair basis. But the man is still in the saddle. Between now and 2027 is a whole lot of time. I don't know how he hopes to achieve it, but I am not yet seeing the indices that the president is will be able to reverse the trend.
All right, thank you very much, Pastor Matthew, for that brilliant submission. Okay, viewers, we've come to the end of the program. If you are just joining, please kindly go back to the beginning of the program where we discussed about salient issues. You can rewatch it at any point in time. And of course, like we said, we'll bring this to you at least 3 times in a week. And here I have with me Mr. Matthew again, who has his own channel too, named Satellite Media. You can all please kindly follow his channel as well. For now, we'll say bye. Mr. Matthew, thank you for your time. Your closing remark.
Mr. Ali, I must say very thank you for giving me this opportunity to address these issues. But as we look forward to 2027, I think as Nigerians, everybody should start putting pressure on the government, particularly National Assembly, to do the needful. And to do the needful is to amend the Electoral Act, particularly the area that
Mm,
talks about transmission of election results. That will be the
mm,
basis for which we will have free, fair, and credible election. And until we have a free, fair, and credible election, leaders will not be accountable to the people. The power of the people to hire and fire will not be potent until the
mm.
process is credible. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Bye for now.
All right, thank you.